Hey everybody, and welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm the radio star Covidia killed. My Covideo. Man, I botched that one.
Yeah.
It was Covidia. I don't know what that is. Covideo. See, that makes sense.
I had to sit here and think about that for a second.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was a good joke in my head, and then I botched the delivery, and now it's just all downhill from here.
So, how are you hanging up with your quarantine?
Well, we have a plague.
It's just a small plague.
You know, just a small minor plague. But, you know, it's not too awful.
It's fine.
I guess stay inside and play Animal Crossing like everybody else.
I haven't been playing Animal Crossing. Should I be?
I mean, probably. It's a really good Animal Crossing. Though it was funny, our younger brother messaged me about Animal Crossing, and I was like, oh, so what fruit does your island have? And he's like, it can be different? What do you mean? And I was like, have you never played Animal Crossing before? It's like, yes, of course. Everybody's fruit is different. That's the thing.
Does that say something fundamental about humanity?
What? That he doesn't know that the fruit's different?
That everybody's fruit is different.
Well, okay. So, I mean, with the gender rainbow, yeah, I guess everyone's fruit is different.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
And that's going to get a bunch of angry people on Twitter, I'm sure.
Dozens.
Dozens. Tens of people will be.
So what have you been up to since last we spoke, which was at episode 100 and before the world burned?
Yeah, before the world ended.
Yeah.
That could have been before even World War III happened. No, this is after World War III.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. I went to a toy convention before everything shut down, and everything shut down. I watched I watched all of Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh, and how good was it? As good as everybody says?
I mean, it's hit or miss. Some arcs are very, very good. Other arcs have Jar Jar in them.
Ew,
so
why?
I mean, because George Lucas was still in charge, dude.
Oh.
Season 1 is extremely rough. After that, it gets a little bit better.
I see.
But it really depends on the arc. At some point, I might write up like which arcs one should watch. Spoilers: most of the Mandalore stuff you should watch.
I mean, the live action version of that was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and the Mandalore episodes are both Rebels and Clone Wars are good. Rebels overall is a much better show than Clone Wars, but Clone Wars has some like really good stuff in it.
Does this one have Thrawn in it?
No, because this is most of
this is before,
Clone Wars,
right?
Yeah, so Clone Wars has all been imported into new canon. It's all still canon, but it's before Disney acquired it. So it's technically going off of the old canon. It's weird because it's both new canon and old canon.
That's a sticky situation.
Well, they've made it work because, again, most of it's prequel stuff, so it's not a problem.
That's fair.
I mean, a lot of the Ahsoka stuff is really strong. There's lots of really good stuff in it, but there's some also very George Lucas stuff in it. I mean, the first season, he had everybody call each other nicknames, and it's real bad.
Why? Because he's George Lucas.
Because George Lucas, and he's kind of insane. So,
just a little bit.
There's that. But I mean, a lot of it's well worth watching. Some of the characterization doesn't make sense. Like Padme in the cartoon is a pacifist, even though in the prequel movies, she was one that was like, F the Senate, I'm going to stop this invasion myself when she's like 14.
You know, as one does when they're 14.
Well, that's a problem with the prequels. So the queen of Naboo is an elected political position. And the queens are always like 14-year-old girls. How that doesn't...
I never thought about that.
It doesn't make any sense. Now, if it's a hereditary position, it's like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. But it's not. It's elected. It's an elected political position.
I always had those two thoughts in my head and never put them together. And when you say it like that, back to back, it sounds like a bad idea.
Why would you do that? Why would you elect anyone under any age to be president of your planet?
Because they can wear wicked hairstyles, that's why. Let's see, what did I do? We started watching the new season of Isekai Quartet.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It has, you watched Overlord.
Yeah.
There's an episode where a few of them, go to detention. And detention is, the teacher in the detention hall is the Cockroach King from Overlord. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
So that happens in detention. You don't want to go to detention.
I can imagine not.
It's bad news. They go everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Ooh.
So that's going pretty good. We're not caught up on it yet, but
Is it really a show you have to be caught up on?
There's an arc of sorts. But I mean, I haven't watched all the episodes yet.
Speaking of arcs and getting caught up on, they cast the woman who plays Gamora in those movies to play Ahsoka in Mandalorian. So Ahsoka is going to show up in The Mandalorian. So that sounds cool.
Wait, which one plays Gamora?
Huh?
Is that the robot?
That's the green one.
The green one. No, that's not the robot one. Gotcha.
No. That's Karen Gillian. It's not her. It's the other one.
Okay. Let's see. What else did I do? Well, I didn't do this, but my wife's been watching a lot of Magicians.
It's supposed to be pretty good. I've not watched it yet, but it's supposed to be pretty good.
I watched the first season once, and it's Harry Potter, but in college. But it knows it's Harry Potter in college, so it at least has that lampshade charm to it.
Okay.
But from what I can tell, while she likes it a lot, it apparently really goes off the rails at some point.
I mean, a lot of those...
But it's been canceled, so here we are.
A lot of those CW type shows do that.
Mm-hmm. And then, that's all I've done. Work, crisis, virus. You know how it goes.
Well, you know what's fun to do while you're stuck inside?
Is it play board games?
It's play board games, because I'm selling a lot of board games at work. I bet you specifically this reason. You know how many copies of Pandemic I've sold in the past 2 weeks?
All of them.
It's a lot.
Wait, so since school's canceled, that would make your work an after-school dice club.
I suppose it might.
That's the name of the show.
It is the name of the show.
Hooray!
I got that. Does this make these kids Quarenteens? Huh?
Okay, in the show, we're done.
That's
it.
Yeah.
Podcast is over.
Yeah. Quarenteens?
Yeah. Okay. This time, we decided to watch After School Dice Club.
Yeah.
Which is a show that came out last year. No, last season.
Yeah, well, just last season.
So fall, winter-ish. I can't keep all the seasons straight.
Hey, it's hard.
Anyway, aired last season, and we watched it.
Yep.
You want to give the elevator pitch?
It's cute anime girls give board game tutorials. I'm very here for this show. This is a very niche show. I happen to be part of that niche. It's like Yuru Camp, but instead of scenery porn, it's rules porn. So, I mean, if you're into that, which I kind of am.
That is basically it.
Yeah.
Cute girls playing board games.
Yep. Teaching board games and talking about game design theory, which was actually pretty spot on, and I was very happy about that.
To some extent.
No, it's pretty spot on.
So what'd you think of it overall, though?
I mean, it's fine. Here's every episode. Miki is shy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then they teach you how to play a board game. That's like every episode. Sometimes they teach you how to play a board game and then Miki is shy, but it's always those two halves.
You're not wrong.
There was one episode where they teach you a card game, Miki is shy, and then they teach you another card game. So they spice it up a little bit.
That one was special because it had a twofer.
It did have a twofer.
So my impressions of it were, it's fine.
Yeah, and it's a little boring unless you care about board games. I do like how all the games they teach you are real.
For the front half of the show, I thought, did I just agree to watch 12 episodes of commercials for German games? The answer was yes.
It's kind of yes. Kind of you did.
Here's the only way I can put how I enjoyed this show. So my wife has been playing Persona 5.
I haven't played 5, but the Personas are all real good. Do they shoot themselves in that one?
I don't know. I'm not paying too close attention to her playing while I'm doing other stuff, but sure. I can hear the game music.
Oh, the game music's very good.
It is very good, but there are basically like 2 songs that play over and 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 over.
Baby. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Baby.
I had 4 weeks to watch this show, and I found that I would rather stare at a wall and listen to that music over and over than watch more of the show.
Oh, la-di-da. It's better than that.
Not saying that this is a bad show. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But I never sat down and thought, I should watch this show. Or I do something else.
You're not wrong. You're not completely wrong.
Especially the first 6 episodes. Like, after that, like, a plot sort of happens. So I did appreciate that, but...
There's a bit of plot. It's not much of one. The last episode was kind of bad, but...
Here's my problem. Okay, let's get into spoilers. Here's my problem.
Yeah.
Basically, this is a show about please buy board games. And around the concept of please buy these board games because they're fun and here's how to play them right quick. They just took, well, we need some generic anime things to also occur around that.
Yeah.
And every episode was, oh, this person has shown up, says one line. I'm like, I know exactly what's going to happen at the end of this episode. And it did.
Yeah.
Extremely predictable.
Yes.
I will say that there was a very good aspect to it that I actually really, really appreciate.
Oh.
I'm not a big board gamer. Like, I enjoy them when somebody has them and it's quick to pick up.
Uh-huh.
But usually when I go to somebody's house and they're really into board games, they're like, let's play this brand new game. Even though I know you like these other ones, let's play this brand new one that I bought. Please justify my $60 purchase, please.
Yeah, we see this.
And then they try to explain the rules. And that takes longer than the game. This show...
It's because a lot of people are bad at explaining rules.
This show was the best example I have ever seen of how to explain the rules to people.
Yes. It's easier than you think, but a lot of people are very bad at it.
It's like this Japanese girl playing a German board game, explained the rules in like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Because really, you just need to understand the flow of a game and not worry about winning. And then don't teach a player how to win the first time you play a game. Just teach them what they need to know to get up and running.
That's probably my biggest pet peeve with board gamers.
Some of them are bad at explaining games. Because they try to explain every single little edge case.
Here's my worst board gaming story. You want to hear it?
Okay. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Hit me.
So I went to a friend's house once, and they're like, I just bought Lord of the Ring. I'm like,
oh, War of the Ring?
War of the Ring. I'm like,
yeah,
cool.
Good game.
That sounds like fun. It's a big board game with
Here,
war
watch
minis.
And watch me explain how this is played.
Okay, you do it first.
Roll dice.
Uh-huh.
The dice have symbols on them. Every turn, you get to resolve those dice based on what symbols you have. You have actions that correspond to the symbols you rolled on the dice. Take them. If you're Mordor, you want to take over the world or kill the guy with the ring. If you're not Mordor, you just want the guy with the ring to get where he's going and not die before that happens.
That was very succinct.
It's about all you need to know to really get up and running.
So I show up at this guy's house. The box is still in shrink wrap.
Oh no.
Our task was to open box, take out all the minis, prepare all the tokens, blah, blah, blah. While this guy you've seen that manual. He read the whole manual and then tried to explain it to us.
Oh, don't do that. No. You got to read that before they show up.
It was really bad. I think we had fun at the end, but I don't remember playing it or any of that. I just remember that setup period.
Remember the setup period? Yeah, see, you got to be ready when you're going to teach a new board game. You got to know it, and you got to be ready to explain just the things people want to know. A lot of board gamers get real bogged down because a lot of board gamers are very detail-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
So they're competitive, so they want to win, and they want to teach you how to win with all these dumb little edge cases that can come up during the game.
Yeah, they want to teach you, here are all the caveats. Here's the strategy that you need to know.
You know, Fantasy Flight used to get a lot of flack with how poorly written their board game rules were, but they've really nailed it in the past couple of years because they have here's the learn how to play booklet, and then here's all the edge cases booklet.
One is significantly bigger.
It helps a lot. Yeah. And it's like, just read that first one and you're good. You can get going. And then the second one, you never have to read until the edge case comes up and then just go look it up.
Until someone's like, wait, what happens if I do this?
It's like, well, let's find out real fast.
Yep. See, that's a good approach.
Yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of gamers are very bad at that.
But are the German games like that? Or do they come with like all the rules?
To be fair, most German games have one or two core mechanics. They aren't as complex as an American board game. They tend to have more elegance and more depth in one or just two mechanics, as opposed to a US game that tends to be a little more sprawly.
Here's something that I found interesting in watching this show, because I'm not a big board gamer, and I thought that German is in Europe, therefore it's a Euro game.
Yeah.
Or most games will be Euro games. I didn't see a single Euro game. No, I did. The game that Midori makes is a Euro game. But the rest of them didn't seem like Euro games to me, because there were direct, like, I can mess with that guy over there and then I can win. Most Euro games feel like not direct competition.
Most Euro games has a very passive way of interacting with other players, right? Because usually it's I do something to a core mechanic that messes with your ability to interact with that core mechanic. Like the Elfenland is a very good example of that, of a German or Euro style interaction, where I can't mess with you really, but I can set up the trade routes between cities in such a way that is disadvantageous to you. And that's how I mess with you. Kind of like how in Catan, you mess with people by blocking off people with roads or taking the optimal spots before they're able to.
Makes sense.
It's usually less of a direct confrontation and a mediated confrontation. Like in Outer Rim, I can just fly my spaceship over to Annie's spaceship and shoot her. But in a Euro game, I would like mess with the economics of a space station to make it hard for her to buy spice and sell it for oregano to trade for penguins. Something dumb like that.
I don't hate that kind of gameplay, but it's not my thing.
It's different because it's usually like I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, and every once in a while those things butt up against each other.
Yeah. I much prefer direct competition. Me v you.
Which is why we prefer the Ameritrash type of board game.
Well, I like Mahjong.
As it is affectionately known.
Mahjong is my cup of tea. And there was no Mahjong in this.
No, there's not.
I almost thought there was going to be shogi in this. I'm like, ooh, the shogi episode. Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, but I do like that game. Was it Goita? That game seems clever.
Yeah. I did appreciate learning a traditional local-ish Japanese game, but I didn't get the rules very well.
Yeah. Well, they're fairly simple.
Yeah. So I think that's one I'll have to...
They were a little weird to explain.
I'll have to play myself at some point. Yeah. So there's not much plot here. So you want to just talk about the characters?
Miki is shy.
Miki's extremely shy. It's felt like Mochi Boro plays board games.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Because she makes the friends.
Yeah,
she makes all the friends, and then at the end, she's like, "But maybe I don't have the friends because
I didn't make the friends.
Maybe they're all gonna leave me.
Maybe friendship is over." It's like, no, it is fine. You're friends forever.
It's like, oh, I'm going to do a thing at some point in my life. That means you're abandoning me. I'm going to go talk to you. Oh, wait, you're out doing normal things at a reasonable hour.
Why everyone betray me?
A2 Midori.
Yeah.
She wasn't a very compelling character. I
like her character design, but yeah, her character concept. And her character concept is okay, but not super well executed. At a certain point, you're like, yeah, I get it. Miki is shy and she plays a board game.
It's like, I'm supposed to expect character growth, and of all the characters, ironically, she probably grew the least. Yeah. Because we're just told over and over and over by other characters, she's growing, which is not a good sign.
It's like, is she though? She's just always shy. I do enjoy how the show does do a pretty good job of mirroring the emotional conflict with whichever game they're going to play. And they do that fairly well.
Because, a board game is always the solution to a complex personal issue.
Absolutely it is.
How about Aya?
Aya. Oh, she's the bubbly one.
The bubbly one with brown hair.
That's all you need to know. She's the bubbly one.
She doesn't say no to anything. She's extremely optimistic. She does have her own little personal arc with her dad.
Yeah. Her dad is garbage.
Her dad is garbage. He's like, I am all about me, and that's just how I am.
And I'm just not going to change about it. But I love you, even though love means changing for someone. I ardently disagree and will never change. Oh, I love you anyway. I mean, that's good. You probably should love your dad anyway, but it doesn't change the fact that he's kind of a piece of shit.
Hey, his explanation of why he's a rotten person to the core wasn't what changed her mind. It was playing Blokus
Blokus. Thank you. You have no idea how many times I have people ask, do you have this game? It's called Blokus. It's like, look, you block people in it with blocks. It's Blokus, not, why would you think it is Blokus? You block people by placing blocks on a blocky board. Why?
Well, when you put it like that, it makes sense.
Why Blokus? But you give people all the time. Catan, I get. Blokus? I don't understand it.
I don't either.
It makes no sense. It's like, do you have this game called Crads Cards? No, I'm pretty sure it's Crads.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, why not?
Well. Blokus is pretty good. I've never actually played Blokus.
You should play Blokus, especially if you're having deep personal issues with a close family member. Say you and your wife get into a fight during the quarantine.
We'll play Blokus.
You play Blokus, and you will sort that out. Done.
Please don't go to a game shop and ask for Blokus. They might murder you.
I need some cheese. Do you guys have any cheese pieces?
Yeah, basically. It's just like chess. That's the other thing you hear all the time working in a game store.
It's just like chess.
Or if a board has hexes on it, they're like, oh, so it's like Catan. It's like, no, it just has a shape. It's just a shape. Like, there's a game called Hive that they don't play in the show.
Yeah.
But it has a hexagon piece, and they're like, oh, it's like Catan. It's like, no, this one is actually like chess. Please.
Is that the one with the bees and stuff?
Yeah. It's
I played that.
Good. That one is actually like chess. But it's got hexagons, so you'll get people tell you it's like Catan. It's like, no, it's nothing like Catan. This one is like chess.
It's Catan, but chess with bees.
It's got hexes. Yeah.
What about Midori?
She's the megane.
She is the megane.
But all you need to know, she lives up to almost all of those tropes. She's the one who is actually super into board games. She wants to be a board game designer, and she works at a board game store, and she's leading the life I wanted.
No, look at you now.
Look at me now.
Well, this will probably be the life that she'll lead at some point as well. I mean, she's only a freshman.
Probably. Sophomore. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Technically. If you're converting it to the American system,
she's a first year.
She's a first year in a 3-year high school as opposed to our 4-year high school.
Fair enough. She had the only story arc that actually, I won't say surprised me, but subverted my expectations.
It's good. It's a good little arc.
It starts in episode 6. It's the only plot of the show that makes any difference to anything.
Yeah, it's the only plot of the show.
Yeah.
You can kind of leave it there.
And she wants to become a board game designer.
Yeah, I liked this arc a lot because I've dabbled in board game design, and I like the very first time they bring it up and she's like, I don't want anybody to play my game. I'm like, oh, honey, no, that's not how this works. That's how you feel. And I understand that because you want it to be like perfect and balanced before you show it off to everybody. But you can't do that. You got to have people play it or you don't know all the problems that it has.
You know what? The same thing happens in product design, not just board games.
Shocking, right?
Yep. You think, I have the perfect solution for this consequence. I've got the best design. I've got the best functionality. Now let me show it to somebody who hasn't seen this before.
Oh, they broke it.
Oh, no. It's on fire.
I don't know how they lit my board game on fire, but it happened.
Yeah, you got to play test it, son. That's how it works.
But you get a lot of people, like I was the same way starting out. It's like, oh, I don't want to make a game. You have to make it balanced. And you can't do anything until it's all perfectly balanced. Like, no, you get it balanced by playing it a ton.
Well, the only part that subverted my expectations was she submitted her board game after all these iterations, and she made it so her friends like it a lot, and she got the special thing that she was missing, and she entered this competition to her arch rival, who's actually a real dude that works in a real company called Bad Dwarf.
Really, I wouldn't say an arch rival, but yeah.
Whatever. She in her head.
Okay. He would be a rival, right? He's the very Japanese type of rival, right?
Exactly.
Where you compete against them to make yourself better.
Yeah.
That type of definition of a rival rather than an American arch rival type
trope. She gets rejected.
Yeah.
But she also gets invited to go hang out with him and learn how to actually make board games.
Yeah. Do you want to come get an unpaid internship? In New York, board games aren't made in New York. They're made in Washington or Minnesota.
Hey, this show
Austin.
doesn't know that. It knows Germany.
They might not.
And it's like, America, what's American? Oh, Statue of Liberty.
It's New York. I'm sure there's some game studios in New York, but most of them are in Minneapolis for whatever reason, or over here in Washington in the Seattle area.
I thought there were a bunch in Colorado.
Not off the top of my head. Wouldn't surprise me. Colorado and Austin would also make sense. The sort of hip cities.
So what about Amelia?
Oh, she's from German and has a very bad Japanese accent, and I'm here for it.
It's real bad. The version I watched, the subs, they translated her English into good English, or her Japanese into good English.
Oh.
And so I caught this. She kept talking in third person, which was really weird, and makes her Desu, and Amelia does this.
Desune.
Amelia loves board games.
Yeah.
I'm going to show Dad Amelia's board game that Amelia made.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an airhead. But she's really good at games.
She is good at games.
What I didn't get is she's lived in Japan for 2 years.
Yes.
And she only picks now to transfer into school.
I don't know. First off, high school is optional in Japan.
Yes.
So, I don't know. She was taking some skip years. It probably has to do with the fact that the German education system and the Japanese education system didn't mash up or something. We can no prize this. We can get away with this.
Okay. Fair enough.
Or she transferred from another school. Like, I think she says she's just recently moved to Kyoto from somewhere else in Japan. So
that could be. I mean, her dad did open that game bar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's really hot, according to all the other characters. She's the hottest one of the bunch. Gets all the attention. And this is the one that has a maid outfit, just 4 maid outfits, perfectly sized for just such an occasion as a game festival.
I mean, good for her. We should all be so lucky.
Let's see, who else? Is there anybody else worth mentioning? I guess there's 2 dudes that are kind of there.
Yeah, they show up from time to time.
There's one guy that I thought would be a bit bigger of a character, Ryuji.
The one with the rolled up pant leg for no reason that made me want to hit him with something.
Hey, it shows, besides his earring and spiky, disheveled blonde hair, that he is a kind of delinquent.
Yeah, well,
the rebel with a heart of gold.
Hey, no, the rebel with the heart of gold is Aya's sister's friend.
Oh yeah,
she's the rebel with the heart of gold. Well, she's the cool one.
What's her name?
Mad Dog something
or other. Kyoko? I think it was Kyoko.
Yeah,
she was cool, but that was only because she looks like Mordred from Fate.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but she's also cool
because she looks like Mordred from Fate. Exactly, like she's basically just Mordred. She has a motorcycle, she has the hair, all of it, and she plays board games.
Yeah, she does.
She also has daddy issues.
Yeah, she does, but hers are more legit though.
He beat her.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
I did there was one scene where Miki and her play a game together on the side of a bridge, or side of a creek.
Yeah.
The rules, I don't even think the rules were explained.
No, this is one of those it's like Rory Story Cubes. It's a very free-form style game.
Just do whatever you want.
Where it's just here's a game piece. Here are some suggested games you can use them for. Do whatever you want. Or like the Looney Labs pyramids. Right? It's a very free-form type thing. They're dice with kana on them.
Kyoko's idea was, let's use the dice to hurl insults at each other, which Miki is very uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
And then Miki turns the tables and does, let's do compliments instead. And then Kyoko is extremely uncomfortable with it. It
was very good. I do have to say that this show is a little gay.
Oh, you don't think?
The characters are all a little gay for each other.
Well, the one game where they had to pair up as partners, what is that called? Maids and...
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. When Amelia was paired up with Midori, and you're like, oh, I see where this is going.
It was very good.
Oh boy. Okay. Sure. Why not? That's it.
Yeah, pretty much the whole show, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, hang on. Which of the games it displayed in this show is your favorite?
Okay, so I was thinking through the lens of what would my wife like to play. I really want Keltis. I think she would really enjoy it. Unfortunately, that's not available in the States.
Ooh.
It was re-implemented as Lost Cities, the board game, but it doesn't allow you to... So in Keltis, right, you play a card, and then you can decide whether or not you want to go in descending order or ascending order off that card. But in Lost Cities, you can only go in ascending order, which makes it more of a luck component than Keltis. So I might just get the German version.
There you go.
And also, Elfenland is really elegantly designed. Though it was a Spiel des Jahres winner in '98, which means it's a bit of an older style game. It's very elegant. I thought that its design is very clever. I can see why it won Spiel des Jahres.
I actually liked the game in the second episode.
The Cockroach Poker?
The Cockroach Poker game.
That's also very clever.
I like that game because it appeals to my interests of I can attack a player.
Yeah, and lie. Yeah, that's also very cleverly done.
It's player v player, not player v game. And I like that. The other one I liked was the shogi-ish game because it feels like this is really quick to play if I can understand it.
Yeah.
And I can also attack people. Basically, it comes down to can I attack people?
Yeah. I mean, again, most of the games they played were Euro style, so they're a little more trying to solve the puzzle of the game.
I think the most interesting episode for me actually was the Drama Doll Fell Down, which in English is more like...
That was very good.
It's red light, green light with more rules.
Yeah. That was also very good because it really does show you like how you think about designing games.
Yeah, I liked that. You got to give a reward, and you got to have a bit of a punishment if you're losing. Otherwise, it doesn't feel satisfying.
Yeah, yeah. It was a really good illustration of game design concepts. Like this show does a very good job at explaining game design in a way that makes sense.
To some extent. And that may just be because I haven't tried it and you have. So it probably resonated more with you.
Yeah, no, it's all good advice. I mean, I've also like listened to a lot of podcasts on board game design.
That tracks.
So I mean, this is all fairly accurate. I mean, it's very basic, but it's, the start of things. Kind of like how Isekai kind of explains, like, look, animation is actually done by real humans. Here's how it's done. This is very much, hey, board games are designed by real human beings, and this is how you have to think about.
I didn't see anyone in this show pass out in front of a screen late at night going, this is my life now.
This is now my life. I am going to be a horrible goblin. And this is all I'm going to do.
Exactly. That's what this was missing. We were missing Midori actually having a breakdown. The most we have is she acts a little funny for a little bit, and then she remembers she likes furniture a lot. The end. Yeah.
And also, see, that's another good thing that they really explained well in the show, which is like, how do you make a really good game? You decide on like what sort of mood you want the game to be, and you try to design everything around the feeling you're trying to invoke, not just dryly what makes a good competition, but what mood or emotion are you trying to evoke?
So it's not purely about I've come up with a clever set of rules, and then I'm going to slap some dressing on it.
There are some games like that, and they can work really well. I mean, even Keltis, to some extent, a game in the show, is very much like that. It's very dry, very mathy. And you can get really good games like that. But to really stand out in a crowd, you want a game that invokes a certain feeling through its mechanics, not just a dry... I mean, in that second to last episode, they even explain it's like, this feels too correct. Yeah. You've made a puzzle that I want to solve, not a feeling I want to engage with.
Not something that like really sparks my imagination and puts me in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's a little bit. I don't think anybody gets really immersed into a board game as displayed in the second playtest with Midori's game. I was so engrossed, I forgot you made this. Like, did you? Or is that just because you're the airhead character?
Yeah, a little bit A, a little bit B.
So that's After School Dice Club.
Yeah, I would say if you enjoy board games or just want to learn like 10 to 12 little games, this is good. But it is very niche. It is very niche.
I would like somebody to cut out the little bits of explanation.
Oh, and just do the little board game tutorials?
Yes, and then show these to people at, say, your friendly neighborhood board game store. And when someone comes in and buys a big old game, you have to say, now hold on. Before you buy this, watch this tutorial on how to explain a game to somebody.
Yeah, basically.
And then show them a 30-second clip of someone explaining a quote-unquote complicated game. Mm-hmm. Ta-da! See, it can be done. And your friends will love you for it.
Look, I've explained, like, Twilight Imperium in, like, 10 minutes.
That's impressive.
Because it's the core of it's very simple. It's how all the pieces interact, and you just don't have to worry about them until they pop up.
See, that's what I want. But I also,
but
you know
people
what?
get far too into, I need to explain how all these things interact. It's like, no, talk about the big picture.
You've reminded me. Here is my feeling, another feeling I had watching After School Dice Club. I think it was about episode 7.
Sure.
I was sitting there thinking, you know what would make this more enjoyable? If it was Kaiji.
Yeah, waza.
If it was Kaiji and they were still playing these German board games, I would be more engaged, I think. Because not only are they explaining a small, delightful little Blokus game, but instead of having interpersonal feelings and conflicts with Daddy, it's if you lose
a point, they lose a pinky.
You have to lose a pinky or bow down on a scorching hot piece of iron.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Just like hardcore Batsu, these games.
Yeah.
Make them all hardcore Batsu games.
There has to be something at stake.
So you mean no games, no life?
Yeah. I mean, that at least had the trappings of something was at stake.
Yeah.
They were always going to win, just because
of course.
It's stated in the first episode they'll never lose, so there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Are they going to lose this one? No, because the show said they won't.
But no, I mean, it's a good show if you know what you're sort of getting into and you're into that sort of thing.
It's cute, but I wouldn't give it more than a 6. Maybe a 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not, go out and watch this, it will change your life. It's like, no, if you like board games, give it a watch. It'll introduce you to some games that you don't see. One of my favorite activities doing it was looking in the background and being like, ooh, I know that one and 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 that one.
There's a lot of licensing agreements going on with this show.
So it's fun to find all the games you like. Though there is some anachronisms in the board games because sometimes there's some flashbacks and there are games in her room that wouldn't be out yet when it's being shown.
Okay, so. That's going a little too weird. I was going to say, you can feel free to watch this show at 150%, and that'll still feel too slow. You can safely watch this faster than 150%.
You're probably not wrong, except maybe slow down for the explanations.
Oh, those are the parts where I actually paid super attention.
But yeah.
The rest of them...
just understand that Miki is shy, and now they're going to teach you how to play a board game.
Yeah, I can maybe not devote my full attention to this part.
Yeah. I barely paid attention to the last episode because it was kind of bad and they weren't explaining any board games. So I was like, okay, I don't know why I'm watching this. I'm not really invested in any of these characters. I just want to learn some board games.
You know what? The worst part of this show, 100% worst part of the show, very last episode is when the guy who is really interested in Miki, and that's his only defining character trait,
doesn't go to her.
He
and you're
sees
like, what
her
dude?
Crying on a bench, and he's like, you know what I should do here? I'm going to call her friends and have them come comfort her.
It's like, you moron. You're kind of a cute couple, and here you are just being like, well, call her friends and have them deal with it. I'm going to go see a movie, which I probably shouldn't do because I'm social distancing.
And very poorly.
Yeah, very poorly.
This show is about not social distancing correctly. So what should we watch for next time?
Oh, gosh. How about Star Wars Clone Wars? Because I've watched all of it already.
No.
Because I haven't thought about it at all.
You know what came out recently that we should watch?
What came out recently that we should watch?
Castlevania Season 3.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. I wonder if it'll be better than the other two.
I've heard good things, but every time someone starts talking about it, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to know anything because we'll probably watch it for this show.
Well, and here's the thing, too. Those shows, seasons 1 and 2, have like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's like, guys, this show's pretty good. Some of its animation is off the charts good. But it ain't that good.
It's not that good.
It's fine. It's entertaining. But the plot and the characters are not super great.
It promised a lot and delivered on about 50% of it. Yeah.
I mean, the Alucard Belmont fight at the end of season 1 is super good. Super good. But there's a bunch of episodes that you have to watch before that happens. Where nothing really happens other than church be bad. You're like, okay. What an interesting new trope I've not seen in a show before.
Well done. Gripping social commentary.
You have subverted my expectations of church being good with church being bad. I never thought I would live to see the day where a TV show would stand up and speak the truth to power that church be bad.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you next time. Don't die.
Yeah, please don't.